Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Dee. I'm a Saint Beauty artist, a recent Monette business partner, and a DIY lash enthusiast. So here on my channel, I do a ton of videos on DIY lashes. So I will link some of them below here, but if you just kind of scroll through, you will see how much I actually have. So today I am going to be doing a kind of first impressions, but kind of talking through the Linx Lashes new V2 lashes. So they just recently came out with two new lashes, the N6s, which is more of a natural look, and then the V2. So I have tried the V1s and I really, really like them. But I accidentally, so I've done this video. This is gonna be my second time doing this video. I did do the V2s in the 12 millimeter, which is the go-to, like my go-to lash length. But because they're kind of tapered at the top, I thought that I could get away with 14 millimeters. So these are a little bit longer, but I wanted to real quick kind of show you the difference between the V1s and the V2s to see, hey, if you're thinking about trying out this style, what kind of are the differences? And then, yeah, we'll get into the video. Okay, so here are the V1s. And this is in the 12 millimeter, the C curl. And then here are the V2s at the bottom. In 12 millimeter C curl. So they only come in C curl, but they do come, the V2s come in anywhere between 10 millimeter and 18 millimeter. So you can really play along with the looks. But you can see here, the V2 is a lot more kind of three-dimensional. It's a little bit more fluffy. The V1s are, to me, more of a standard volume lash, whereas the V2s just have a lot more dimension. Now it does have a little kind of, I don't want to say warning on the website, but basically they suggest that you start out with their in line, their natural line, if you're new to lashes, because these volume ones are going to be a little bit more challenging to do. So I have done DIY lashes for over a year now. I would definitely say I'm still learning, I'm still tweaking, and that's the beauty of DIY lashes, but I'm much more comfortable. So if you are just starting out in the lash world, I would not recommend the V-line or the D1s or the H1s. I would stick to the N, like N1 through N6, and those are going to be a lot easier for you to kind of get the feel of them. And then once you kind of get the feel of them, then you can kind of graduate. But at the end of the day, it's your money. So, play with it, try it out or whatever, but it's going to be a little bit more of a learning curve. So super, super fluffy. That's what I love about the Linx Lashes. I've said it over and over and over again. These are my favorite lashes because I feel like they are the most affordable, but they also feel amazing. Every single lash style that I've ever tried from Linx has been super high quality. They're always very, very consistent. The shipping is always really, really quick. The only, I would say, downside is the packaging. It does come in this cardboard packaging. If you keep it in the packaging, it does have the style, the curl, and the length on it. So you can keep it in your drawer, whatever, and see exactly what you want. I like to actually see them because the style doesn't really mean anything to me because I still don't know what my favorite is, but you can keep it like that. I have been stupid and I have thrown away the out of packaging and now I keep it like this and I absolutely hate it. So trying to get back into the rhythm of keeping them in the package. So like I mentioned before, I have already done the V2s in the 12 millimeter and I did really, really like them. But because they're, like I said, a little bit tapered at the end, I thought that I could go a little bit more ba-ba boom. Now, the one thing that I would say about lashes is, what I love about DIY lashes is you can 100% customize it. And if you don't like it, you can take it off and start over. You can tweak it. And that's what I love about it, the customability. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of go through, this is, I'm gonna speed up the video, and I actually might even just do a before and after because I feel like I've done so many videos of me kind of talking through or me kind of speeding it up of how I apply them. And I feel like it's just a waste of time. So I'm gonna speed this one up, but I'm gonna cut this stuff out. But before I get into it, I wanna show you guys the products that I'm using to kind of prep for it. So the first one is the Lashify Pre-Cleanse. I like this stuff. I mean, I've used it for over a year now. I still have a ton. It works just fine, but this is a big step if you want to the whole purpose of it is to cleanse your natural lashes so that when you put the bond on, there's no dirt or residue or oiliness or makeup or anything like that that will break the bond. So this is a key step if you want to get that longevity. The next thing I'm going to be going in with is the Linx glue. I love this stuff. This is my favorite. I feel like I get the most longevity, and I love the fact that it gets tacky super, super quickly, and I don't have to wait 30 seconds or guesstimate when I can start putting on my lashes. It's good to go within 5 seconds. I'm good to go. The other thing I'm gonna be using is the Linx Lashes glaze. So I was using the Lashify one for the longest time, and the reason why I love the Lashify one is, I can't get it out, is because of this little ball area, or the ball thing, because I just like to kind of press it. Linx came out with one and I really like it. It does get a little like crystallized. The Lashify one doesn't, so, and it's a little bit smaller, but the Lashify one is more expensive. Next, I'm gonna be using their scissors. They're gold, I like them, but you need scissors in order to be able to cut the ribbons. So I'll be using that. And then for the first time ever, I'm gonna be using their wand. So I love the Lilac Street one. Is it lilac or lilac? I think it's lilac. I always say lilac. I don't know why. Maybe it's like potato. It's like, is it Caribbean or Caribbean? I don't know. But I always say lilac. That's the way I say it. But I love their wand. I'm going to try this one out. It is less pointy than the Lilac Street one, so that might be interesting. But the curve is not as exaggerated, and so I'm really interested to try out. So let's go ahead and get into it. I will come back and show you guys the finished look once I'm done. I wanted to come on here and kind of show you the difference. Holy crap. They are so big. Every time I go to 14 millimeters, I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? They're just gigantic on my face, on my eyes and stuff like that. So couple things that I wanted to point out to kind of show you the difference. So I did go in with the 12 millimeters on the corner of my eye, and then the rest of them are 14 millimeter. I tried to put 12 millimeter, and I cut the 12 millimeter in half, but it was just too short. So I went ahead and cut one of the clusters of the 14 millimeter and got that. So I like it because it kind of, I feel like it kind of fans out and gives that kind of doll look. But I really do like the 12 millimeter on the inside of my eye. I feel like it's a gradual curve. Sometimes with other styles, I find like the 12 and 14, like it's like a little one, and then the 14s are like here, and it's like, no, that's not what I want it to be closer. And I feel like this one is kind of that gradual kind of fan out or doll look. So I really like that. I just think that they're so, I feel like I have tarantulas in my eyes. It's so bad. But a couple things I have to say is the 14 millimeters, that is when it is fluffy to the max. If you want to talk about dimensional, and let me just pull one off. It is super fluffy, super dimensional, very, very tapered, dimensional, that kind of thing. But also with the C curl, I do find that it is super, super curly. So you could see here, I mean, that is very accentuated curl. So for us girls who have like the hooded eyes, I can actually feel the 14 millimeters hit this bone here. It is not bad. It's not uncomfortable, but I do feel like they are very, very curly. Again, they only come in C curl. They don't come in D curl. C curls are going to be less curve. D curl is going to be more curve. I honestly and truly feel like these are very D curl-ish. Like they're not true C curls. So just think about that. If once you get them, that they're going to be more curly than normal. So they are still very pretty. Like I said, they are very, very three-dimensional. So I do like that, but they're just very extreme. So to me, this is not a day-to-day look. This is more of like, I'm going out tonight anyways. It's my 17-year anniversary with my husband. So we're going out to a fancy restaurant, and then I'm going to be taking these off, but I might actually like them. So the other thing that I wanted to mention is I did try the wand compared to the Lilac Street, and to me, it's just too thick. And with the Lilac Street, the wand is very thin, whereas this one is very thick. I was having a hard time of like grasping it and everything because it's just too much. I do like the Lilac Street still better because even though it has these very pointed ends, and I've had people like comment and like, oh, I'm so scared that I'm gonna poke my eye and all that stuff. Like, I'm very careful, obviously, but I feel like I can get in and really like strategically place the lashes. Compared with this is just too thick and not very pointy. So I still prefer the Lilac Street. That's just my preference. The other thing that I noticed is I can 100% say that if you are new to the lash world and you're not very comfortable using them, these lashes are going to be a challenge because they are so three-dimensional. It is a little bit harder to grab them and put them on because they get stuck on the other lash and then you're having to like move them over and then they get tweaked and you have to pull them off or whatever. So even though I feel very comfortable with them, it was a little bit more of a challenge to get them on than with the natural lashes, just because you have all that dimension to work with. So I would recommend that if you're new to the lash world, get comfortable with the other ones first, because I think you'll just get really frustrated with these. I did notice that when I switched over to the Lilac Street wand, it was a heck of a lot easier because it's not as thick and because it has this pointy end, I was able to kind of grab it and keep all the tapered ones down, and then I was able to strategically place it. Whereas with the Linx one, it's like weird. Like, see, it's not long enough. It starts tapering, so this end would stay out, and then I was going like this, and it just was a lot easier with the Lilac Street. I felt like I had more control, and I was able to get all the tapered ends into the wand, and that made it easier to put it exactly where I wanted it and not get stuck on other lashes and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then I'll come back and show you guys the finished look. So they're pretty similar. I do think they're pretty. When I look in the camera and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, they are definitely extreme. They're more extreme than I normally am used to. And to me, I don't think I could wear this every single day, but I can't tell you now that I've done both of them and I look in the mirror, they're very, very pretty. So I may try to see how they look tomorrow. Like, one thing that I've noticed with DIY lashes is sometimes I'm like, nope, it's too much. It's too extreme. And then throughout the day, when I go to look in the mirror, I'm like, ooh, I like it. Ooh, I like it. I like it. And then by the end of the day, I'm like, I love it. They're my favorite. So I think this is going to be the same kind of thing. Even though they are more extreme than I normally do, I still, like, every time I look at them, it's growing on me. So I really like them. A couple things that I noticed that I wanted, like, tips and tricks. So the first thing is, I definitely think, whatever lash wand you do, use the one that you're most comfortable with. The other thing that I found was I usually do a little bit of stacking. So when I go and put on a cluster, I will overlap it just a little bit. For these, that's imperative. Because they're so fluffy, if you don't overlap them just a little bit, you'll see that separation between the clusters. So I just went in and just overlap them just a little bit, and it gives that more solid look. The other thing that was big key is these clusters, they're a little bit wider than normal. So it was big on, I cut some in half and was able to do it. But I find like the width of them is a little bit longer. So you're going to use a different kind of map than you normally would. With the other ones, I feel like they're just a little bit shorter. I don't know. They're just less wide, or maybe this brand is a little bit wider, or this style is a little bit wider, but I just feel like you're going to have to cut some in order to get the perfect map, but it's super easy to do. But I think overlapping is key, because there's a couple times where I just put them right next to each other, and because of the fluffiness, I could see that separation. So I just overlap them just a little bit. But other than that, I think they're really, really pretty. I do think that the 14 millimeter in the corner of my eye would be too much. So I definitely recommend maybe getting 2 different sizes to kind of play with them. But other than that, I think they're gorgeous, and I am really excited about my 17-year anniversary and these fabulous lashes. So let me know if you have any questions below. I'll put the link to both of these sizes down below, and hopefully this video helped you. Until next time, bye.